Hey guys, welcome back to All in a Day's Life. And what I'm going to show you is the backyard, because I've yet to do a tour of the backyard of the garden that we've got set up here. So I will fling it round and show you what we've got going on in the backyard here. So just in a little planter box here, I've got my strawberries. We've got a few little capsicum peppers in pots here, but I don't think they're doing too well. The transplant didn't really agree with them, so which is fine. We have plenty of them. As we swing around here, you can see we've got caged off here area, and that's got all the chickens in there. We've got a little lemon tree and two giant orange trees, which give us an abundance in winter, which we can't wait for when the season comes back around. But we got lucky when we bought this house that they already were there, so I think they're about 20 years old, and we just get mountains and mountains of oranges, so we end up giving most of them away to the family. So in this little garden bed here, if I had shown you this weeks ago when I was supposed to, these little capsicums or peppers, whatever you want to call them, just started out in the little seedling trays, which I grew from seed, all of these, and now they're big giants, and they're getting some good peppers on there, sweet peppers. So we got a fair few in here. I did only buy one as a seedling just because I wasn't sure how the others would do, and it's got a fair few capsicum on there. Not really too sure yet on when we're supposed to pick them, so we will wait a little bit before we do that, but we will have a ton because we've got this whole garden bed full of them, and I've got another two big barrels this side full of them, so that will be fun. This is basil, which is growing out of hand. I need to start chopping off the tops here, but this is our basil. This is comfrey, and another comfrey which we haven't yet planted in the ground or somewhere, because these two are going to grow into very big plants, which comfrey is good for a lot of things. It's good for your fertilizer. The chickens love to eat it. I also love the comfrey cream, which is good for sore muscles and whatnot, so that's always good to have on hand. Down here in these two little pots, nothing yet shot up in this one, but these two are watermelon, so we'll have to get these two out of the pot soon and separate them and put them in the ground so we can get some watermelon growing for the kids. That's another pepper, capsicum, whatever you want to call it. We just had a ton of them. I grew them all from seed, and when they started to sprout, we just had so many, so some of them didn't work out, but I had about 3 trays of, I don't know, maybe there was 42 squares in it or 24, I'm not sure, but they took a long time to come through the seed tray and actually turn into anything at the beginning of the season. But once it started to get really hot, they just shot up, as you can see, and we're going to have an abundance of it soon, which I don't mind because you can preserve those, so no worries there. These two black tubs here are ginger. We thought we would try our luck with growing some ginger, since we like to use it for herbal remedies. So we've got the ginger growing in there. Some of it's not doing too good, some of it's going crazy, so we'll just wait and see on how these go to know how to do it better next time. There's our chickies. Alright, in the back here is our compost bin. We just have a random tomato growing here. He's just seeded himself. Same with this pumpkin you can see up the back there. He's just seeded himself as well. He's not looking a bit happy at the moment. It's fairly hot out here, so he's looking a bit thirsty, I think. We did have potatoes in here, but they did not work out. I'm going to assume that we planted them in there too deep. So they didn't quite work out. So we've just started to rip up the dirt and use the dirt in some pots and whatnot for now, and then we will reassess what we're going to do with that bed. In this bed we've got beetroots in the front. Again, it's like it's in the heat of the afternoon right now, so they're looking a bit droopy and sad. I have already re-watered them. The bees are hanging around. There's plenty of bees and wasps hanging around. And this is cucumbers growing up the trellis here. We have way too many cucumbers, so we can't even get rid of them. Honestly, we have an abundance and I just can't get rid of them. Here, I did plant beans along here, but they didn't go too well, but I'm wondering if it's because they never got sun from the cucumber. Got a few lettuces growing here and a couple of radish, which took a really long time to pop up. A couple more lettuce there. Just of the small variety. Over here I've got my aloe vera, which at first didn't like to be planted there. I think the soil was too rich, and aloe vera could just grow in just plain sand or dirt and they would be fine. So I think we gave it too much love. We stopped watering it for a while and he seemed to come back nice and green. So if you've got aloe vera or you want to grow aloe vera, just chuck it in the sand and it grows. You don't have to give it any love or anything. It's like the easiest thing. Originally, so I planted it in our old house, which our mate bought off us. Originally, all I had was a cutting, maybe that size. All I did was stick it in the sand, and now it's a ginormous bush or big plant at our mate's house, at our old house, and this is a cutting from it. So he just ripped off a piece and I planted it here, and away it goes. Simple as that. Here's a little Cosmo and some sweet potato that we've got growing here. If you've seen my other videos, I talked about a sweet potato that we had gotten that had been sitting in a box for a year. When the movers packed our boxes, for the move back over to WA, Perth, they just pack everything. They just shove everything in a box. They don't care what it is. And there was a sweet potato that we found in there. That's like a year old, and my husband just chucked it in the garden, just buried it in the dirt, and there it is, sweet potato. And then we just did the same to this little guy. This is going to be a sweet potato as well, of the orange kind, since we've got plenty of purples out the front. And this is kind of a sad garden bed, because it was supposed to be full of corn. My husband planted a bunch of seeds of corn in here, and I think because it gets the afternoon sun and not the morning sun out here, these are the only two that sprouted and went anywhere, and only this guy's got corn. So we are going to reassess this garden bed here for next season, as it gets the afternoon sun and not the morning sun. So we really have to, now that we've done it for this season, we can reassess for next season. So now that we've had most of a season, not a full season, we've actually started to see what we can do different next year, how we can make things better, where things will go when it comes to sun, when the sun comes, how much sun an area gets, and where also it's a good idea to put some more garden beds down, because I think we're going to be wanting to put more for next season. I think we just want to grow more things, different things, try new things. And I think things like carrots we want more of, just things that give you more, we want more of. Like cucumbers, far too many cucumbers this year. We will definitely cut down on that and maybe only do maybe 6 bushes next time, because that is more than enough. Honestly, we just have cucumbers coming out of our ears and nowhere to get rid of them, as really you can't really cook them, you can't preserve with them. The only thing you can really do with them is have them fresh in a salad or pickle them, and you can't eat enough of that. It's just too much. So that will be the plan for next year. So this is the last area of our garden. It's just this little paved section in our garage that's got garden. So this is snow peas. I'm even impressed that they even popped up in the beginning, because I planted them in spring when they're actually a winter veggie. We did get a few things off it, but I don't think we even ate them. I think that they went too soft too quickly. So obviously the really hot days have dried him out, but yeah, next time we'll know when to plant him, and we'll use this area for something else. Next we've got dill, more cucumbers, you know, plenty of those. Some more tomatoes, which is good because they're in a more shadier area. They're a little bit slower growing, which is fine, because all the ones that are in the front yard producing a lot of tomatoes will die off before these ones, and so once those ones finish producing, then we'll have these ones that will give us tomatoes. We've already had a few off this one here, and there's one red one in there, and a few green ones, but the rest of these bushes don't really look like they've got anything on them yet, so not a problem, not in a rush for that. I've got some parsley in pots here. This little lonely guy is coriander, so not really too sure why he's not growing. I've already replanted several seeds in there, and they just don't want to have too much fun, I guess. So I'll have to figure out where I'm supposed to grow those next time. This is mint. He's just sprouted up by himself. I originally had another big bush of mint there, which I ripped out, but yeah, some came back. I've got my nasturtiums. This is supposed to be leeks, but I'm really not sure what's happening with those, so we're just letting them go and seeing what happens. And next to that I've got sage, which the bush is just going crazy, so plenty of sage. Next to the sage I've got more comfrey. These are a smaller variety, so I planted them down here, plus they really like a bit of a shady area, so hence why I put them down here, so that they wouldn't get too much sun and they could grow better. This is some marigold, some more marigolds that just popped up by themselves. I didn't plant them there, they just appeared. These are marigolds that just popped up. I didn't plant those in there, they must have just had, I don't know, seeded themselves. These are some more of the strawberry cuttings that I tried to plant, but they did not go too well in the transplanting process. These here are garlic chives, very tasty, and a whole big bush there of oregano, which is really delicious fresh in meals, and another marigold that self-seeded himself. So this is our long garden bed in the garage for those kind of shadier veggies. Well, that's the backyard tour of the garden. Next year we will do things differently, but that's it for today. I hope you enjoy the backyard tour, and we'll catch you next time on All in a Day's Life. See you later.